Hey, and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to get cars. Because in the previous video I showed you guys how to save cars, but now I'm going to show you how to get them. So for a lot of people, getting cars is kind of a complicated process. Well, they don't really know how to go about it, and then they end up either summoning on these terrible elder car banners, or they always just feel short of cars. Now, if you're not going to spend money on elder car banners, you will always kind of feel short on cars. That's just because not every unit has a farmable SA, not every unit has an easy way to raise the SA, so it's not going to fill all your requirements, but you should be able to at least save some. So the first place to check is obviously your login campaigns and your login missions for the month or for the event that's currently up. You'll usually get at least one elder car from logging in consecutively and one dozing car from logging in. Plus you usually get a couple dozing car and at least one elder car from the missions. So yeah, okay, that's two elder cars and a couple dozing car, but that's not enough to raise my army of units that I got off the banner or been saving up for. Well, the next way is Ultimate Challenge. Now a lot of people will say, oh, but Ultimate Challenge is too hard, or I'm new to the game and I can't do it. That's also fine, but the first stage of Ultimate Challenge can be done no matter what. It's a very easy stage. If you have 120% lead and units that fall in that category, you can finish that stage. Just clearing that stage 10 times, which will take a minute each time, 10 minutes, will get you 3 cars like you saw there. Because those 3 cars are only dependent on finishing the stage. The next place to look is in your kind of events that pop up. So this is like World Tournament and Chain Battle. I can't show you the missions here, but you get a whole bunch from the missions. Similarly for World Tournament, you know, doing 30 attempts, winning 20 in a row, getting to certain point milestones. Similarly here, you get a certain amount for the amount of times you run it. I know running it 15 times, you're getting 1.5 billion, gives you stickers and all that. So just keep running these events. I know sometimes it can be boring. You don't even have to place that high. I mean, even just doing the event gives you a dozing car. But obviously getting to the top 30%, which isn't too hard if you dedicate it, maybe farm up some units, will get you to a couple dozing car and even an elder car. So yeah, we've done Ultimate Challenge, we've done Chain Battle, we've logged in every day, we've done our special missions. So we've got enough cars roughly to probably finish a single unit, which is good. What's the next place we need to look? Well, story events. So story events don't drop cars from stages. I think everyone wished they would, like a stage that just dropped dozing cars or something. Maybe one day we'll get there, but I highly doubt it. But what you can do is look at the missions for the stage. Now the missions for the stage usually always have some cars in them. So the cars are usually dropped for missions in the stage for, especially when you have free-to-play units from that stage, for awakening their SA to max. And because that free-to-play unit is farmable, that's basically a free car. Now you'll say, oh yeah, okay, but how many stages are there? Well, if you look right now, just for the Easy A Goku, there are plenty stages that drop in cars. This Zamasu stage drops cars, drops dozing cars, drops elder cars. You get them for just ranking up the units, you get them for maxing out the unit's SA. There's plenty of ways to get cars here. Similarly with any events, any event where you can see a free-to-play unit is definitely an event that you're going to want to go into. Just double check the missions. There will definitely be an elder car or dozing cars that will drop from there. Grand cars sometimes as well. So go through, farm all of those. Then you get these kind of stages where you have beat multiple enemies. It's like the Rabbit stage, this one, the Lord Slug one, where if you get to a certain point, you'll probably get a grand car and an elder car. It is a little bit grindy, but if you just grab a couple AoE units, like even the free-to-play Rabbits, and you put a couple of them on a team, with link leveling now, there's no real detriment to grinding the stage over and over. And you'll easily get there after a while, especially if you finished all the events, you just want to expend your stamina. It's a very quick, easy way. You'll gain some link levels, take a team where you don't use them that often, or somewhere where it's not that needed, throw in the AoE unit, and you'll easily get through farming all the units eventually, and you'll get all those nice juicy cars and some stones. If you see there, I myself am desperate, so it's definitely popping up on the to-do list now that I've finished farming out some of the special missions and content. because yeah, I mean, those all add up. So once you've gone through the story events and you've combed through there, you'll probably say, okay, well, what's next? Well, easy A's. So easy A's or easy B's or whatever you want to call them, they drop cars. Usually they drop grand cars, so they'll drop grand cars reciprocal of the type that the unit is that they awaken. So they're usually meant to be used for the unit that you're supposed to be awakening and then taking to SA 15. And they'll usually drop close between 10 to 15 cars for the most part. Some of the special edition Easy Bs do not have a full range of cars, like the Family Kamehameha. They just drop a couple of different types of grand cars, but the main point of it is that you can go in there, and if the unit is farmable, like Go 10 for example, and the stage drops 10 cars but you only need 5 to take them to SA 15, that's a 5 car gain, which is awesome. Then also most of them have missions for maxing out the unit's SA or awakening them in that, which usually drops another car. So you should usually end up with net cars, plus you can take them and focus them on other units rather than focusing them on the Easy B one. Then in the challenge mode, from anything but SBR, there's only really 2 places to look. So there's the Extreme Z Awakening areas for the certain units, which give you usually a car like I showed in that Goku. And then there's also the Infinite Dragon Ball History. Infinite Dragon Ball History usually drops at least 1 or 2 cars per stage, category mission, special kind of requirements, so that's always a plus. And you can definitely go back there and take a look if you haven't done a stage or a new one's been added like we're getting next week. You'll be able to see, okay, I'll go in there, I should get a car or 2 as well, which is really nice and helps flush out things, especially when you get some stones and maybe you summon. So now we've been through story missions, we've been through Easy Bs. Now we're sitting and we really need cars, and we've drained all sources. Well, go back to story missions, because in the story missions there's usually one that will drop a currency. Usually it happens every single event. There's at least one mission that drops currency. You can run that mission over and over again to get that currency, and you can buy cars with it. So if you have currency from an event and that event's not live, you won't be able to buy cars from that event shop. The cars will only be live once you have the event actually open, or at least a couple days after the event is closed. If the event is live, you will see cars in the shop, or at least it might have just recently closed, but you will definitely see cars in the shop if the event is live. The easiest way is then to go back to the event screen, the story event screen, and look at the banner. Typically it shows if it drops the currency that you need, like you'll see there Hercule medals or apples in the bottom one. Some of them don't show the currency that you need. Sometimes they don't put it on the front of the banner, or sometimes it's on the front of the one banner but not on the front of the other. Like if you take a look at the Shadow Dragon sagas, it doesn't show on some of them, but it does drop. So that can be a little bit frustrating, but the easiest way is just to comb through, check the stage info, and you'll see whether the currency drops there or not. It's gonna show you and reflect, and you can just take a look. Pick the stage, because none of them will be too hard. Apply as many bonus characters as you can, and just farm away. Usually it takes maybe a day or 2 to farm both cars, but it's nice, quick and easy, so it's generally not too bad. It'll take you maybe 6 minutes or so to expend all your stamina on all these events to farm the cars, and yeah, it's a nice easy way to get around it. Generally I farm those before I start farming any other missions, because those are more temporary and they will renew next time they come back. Like, it refreshes the cars. So once you do it this time, just know when the event returns and the currency returns, you'll be able to get cars again. So that's a real big bonus, and that's a nice way you can earn some cars. I mean, there's another 4 cars that have come just from reopening these story events. So that's already half of a unit's SA done. So if you're getting the new Gogeta and you don't have cars, you can get them all the way to SA 5 just by farming these currency medals. Throw in the ultimate challenge, throw in the world tournament that will come around, throw in this, throw in that, all of a sudden the login missions, and that Gogeta's at SA 7 or 8. It's not too bad. I mean, yeah, but then we can take a look now. So obviously you can spend hidden gems to buy cars. I do not suggest this nowadays, maybe back in the day, or maybe if you're sitting with like a massive surplus, but it's just not advisable with the amount of units they're requiring from the treasure store and the way gems are required, the rate at which they're acquired. Just keep them saved up. The other way is blue coins from blue banners. If you're summoning on blue banners, just be wary that obviously you get blue coins. If you're not going to get top units by summoning massively on those banners, then just save them and use them for cars. And then obviously you get the special missions, the Supreme Car Trials. These are quite easy. I haven't finished all of them because I haven't really had a need. I've got plenty of stamina and all that now, and it's just not really for me. You have to do these for Vegito. I'll probably cover the way you acquire LR Vegito at some point, just to help out with people who still haven't done that. But the way to get free to play LR Vegito is to finish all of these and then buy his units from the store. But they can also be used for cars, stamina, a lot of things. So it's generally advisable to go and do as many of those as you can, and clear out those Supreme Car Trials, because it's really going to help you just kind of max out the efficiency of your account, especially the stamina. But the cars are also really nice, especially when you're in a bind. You can go finish up a couple of these if you've got some spare time, and then you can obviously clear out and get some of the cars. From a from a like efficiency point of view, I don't really think it's advisable to go in and start with the story missions unless you're farming for LR Vegito. Generally start with those Supreme Car missions. I mean, generally start with the story missions, the login missions, check your EZAs, check those first, check your challenges, and then proceed from there. It's going to be the easiest way. The last way for you to get cars, which is probably the hardest way, is obviously Super Battle Road and Extreme Super Battle Road. Super Battle Road is difficult, not as hard as Extreme Battle Road obviously, but it is quite difficult. And if you're a new player, it's not going to be the best way to get cars, but you do get victory lights from them, which lets you grab grand cars. You can get 2 per victory light. So ultimately, you know, with 10 new stages, you're getting roughly 20 cars. Obviously you have to choose the type, the only grand cars, but I mean, it's a nice way to earn some of the cars. And as they add more stages, you know, they always refresh the store. You can always get more, so it's a nice way to kind of stockpile. I usually keep the victory lights until there's a unit that comes out that I really want to SA or an LR or something. But yeah, so that's how you can earn cars. So I hope it helps. I know people who are looking for content all the time or things to do, who don't whale out or are free to play in that, this is probably the easiest way for you to save some time and frustration and earn yourself maybe, hopefully, an extra 4 or 5 cars that you at least never knew about before. But thanks guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers and bye.